What's up everyone, back for another vlog, and in today's vlog I'll be showing you the Shelfie beers that I'll be reviewing for the month of March 2025. So if you're unfamiliar with what Shelfie beer reviews are, they are reviews of beers that I can easily grab off the shelves here in the Western New York area, and more specifically Buffalo, New York. And I try to get a good mix of beers from some of the bigger regional, national, and international breweries. And I post Shelfie beer reviews every single Tuesday and Friday of each month. And in the month of March, there are 8 Tuesdays and Fridays. So therefore, there are 8 beers here in front of me, and they are in order of how I'm going to post them over the course of the month from your left to right. So this is the first, and this will be the last. Now, before we go over them real quick, I want to say that I think I truly have a good mix of beers this month. I have a couple hop forward beers, a couple classics, a couple European / UK beers. Yeah, I think this month is really a pretty diverse lineup, but there's a lot of classic beers here from some classic breweries, and I'm happy with it. So let's go over them real quickly. So the first beer I have here comes from the Fatheads Brewery, and this is their Wicked Willie. So this is a West Coast style IPA that comes in at, I believe it's 7% alcohol by volume and 70 IBUs. At the time of review, this can will be approximately about 5 weeks old. Now this one firmly landed on my radar, I want to say less than a week ago, because a very good friend of mine and viewer of the channel, Curtis, mentioned this one to me after he had the IPA for Aliens from Masthead that I recommended to him, and he grabbed it and he was like, dude, you're right, this is awesome. But he goes, you know what? If you do get Fatheads, I don't think you get Fatheads in New York State. He goes, next time you're in Mentor, look for this one. Well, Curtis did not know we've been getting Fatheads here in New York State for many years. However, there has been a couple rumors over the past couple months that they might pull out of New York State, but not yet, because I went to my local Wegmans grocery store, and this was in the mixed 6-pack location. And when I picked it up, it was just over a month old, and I'm like, you know what? We're gonna grab it based on Curtis's recommendation. I also saw the Variety IPA pack that comes in. It comes in 6 packs. And they have a Variety IPA pack. I only saw it in the Variety IPA pack. Did not see 6 packs of this, but I'm picking it up. This one is brewed and double dry hopped with Simcoe, Citra, and Mosaic, and I think it's like a new school West Coast IPA. So I love Fatheads in general, so I'm really looking forward to this one. Next, we have another beer that was inspired by a very good friend of mine, a fellow beer tuber, Dave, aka the Urban Viking over at the Urban Viking Ale Reviews. Dave has been on hiatus for many years, or he posted a couple videos here and there, but for many years. And he just got back into reviewing over the past, I want to say it was about a good 6 months. And he's one of my favorite beer tubers out there, especially from the UK. Such a, as they would say in England, a top bloke. He's just a fantastic dude. I love his reviews, and he reviewed this one probably a couple weeks ago, and I told him if I could find a relatively fresh can, or if I could find it, period, I would review it, because it's a classic I haven't had in a very long time, and that's Polliner's Hefeweizen. This might also be known, depending upon where you're located, as their Hefeweiss beer or just their Weiss beer. It's a German Hefeweizen, they say Munich wheat beer, 5.5% alcohol by volume, I believe. I know it's somewhere on the can, or it should be. Yeah, 5.5% alcohol by volume. And I could barely see it, but on the bottom, I think it has like a best by date of, yeah, it's June 25th of 2025. So we got, like 4 months or so to get into this one. Oh yeah, I forgot to show you guys the Wicked Willie with my new camera. Oh my God, you're so excited. Probably not, but yeah, it's just a very simple, very simple label art. But the Polliner, this is the first time I remember having it out of the can. I always used to have it out of the bottle, so I'm really looking forward to this as well. But I told Dave I would review this one. He inspired me to do so. If you haven't checked out Dave's channel, please go and do so. Like I said, he's a fantastic person. I love his reviews. He's from the old school of beer tubing, which is like my favorite era of beer tubing. I just so many old school beer tubers that I love, and he's one of them. So go check out his channel if you've never checked it out before. Just a great dude. And thank you, Dave, for inspiring me to grab this one for a Shelfie beer review. Next, we have a Dogfish Head beer. Not the one that I wanted to review this month, but it's one we're going to review this month. It is their latest collaboration with the Grateful Dead. It is their Grateful Dead Juicy Pale Ale. So it's pale ale brewed with Kernza and granola. Comes in at 5.3% alcohol by volume. And by the time I review this one, it's probably going to be around 5 weeks old. Has a best by date of May 30th of 2025. They have a spiel here on the side, but it's the Grateful Dead artwork. not surprising whatsoever. I like it. I love the color scheme and everything. So yeah, so Kernza I think is like a certain type of grain, and granola is obvious. I think most of their collabs have actually had granola in them, at least as far as I can recall. Now I wanted to pick up 75 Minute. Their IPA variety pack this year has 30, 60, 75, and 90 minute. 75's come back for the first time in many, many years. I haven't had it in many, many years, and I have not seen the IPA variety pack here in Buffalo. I've been looking for it. I have not seen it. Most places have the older variety pack. So once I see the 75-minute variety pack, I'm buying it. I might not wait for Shelfie beer reviews next month. I might just review it because I think 75 is my favorite of those four specifically, and I can't wait to revisit it. So just wanted to throw that out there. Next, we have a one that I'll include here for basically St. Paddy's Day, although I will be doing a special review on St. Paddy's Day. This is from Great Lakes, and it is their Conway's Irish Stout. So I believe this is a dry Irish stout, comes in at 4.8% alcohol by volume, as a best by date of May 10th of 2025. They have their Conway's Irish Red that I reviewed before. Really enjoy that one for sure. And I thought I'd pick out the new dry Irish Stout. This is a new beer from them, and I'm looking forward to it. I believe it says something about it's named after their founder's grandfather. So I think that's pretty damn cool. It's a really simple label, but fits the theme perfectly, in my opinion. Next, we have the only barrel-aged beer of the bunch. It comes from the Boulevard Brewing Company, and it is their 35th anniversary. So this one is called a barrel-aged blended beer or blended ale. It comes in at 11.5% alcohol by volume, and it has a best by date of October 3rd of 2026. So they give this one 2 years because this was bottled on October 3rd of 2024. I haven't seen it until recently, but I'm glad it showed up. I wanted to try it, and now we're going to review it as a Shelfie beer because I've said it before, but Boulevard's barrel-aged game is slept on. They're basically Shelfie barrel-aged beers. You can pretty much find them wherever, and they are typically awesome. As far as I remember about this one, I'll have to look it up when I review it, but I think this is a barrel-aged like English barley wine that is blended with a barrel-aged imperial brown ale. So again, I always like trying out Boulevard's beers, especially the barrel-aged beers, and I'm looking forward to that. So I thought I would buy it and include it in this month's Shelfie beer reviews. Next one is another classic, just like this Paulaner, and it is from the Samuel Smith's Old Brewery, and it is their Nut Brown Ale. So this is an English brown ale that comes in at 5% alcohol by volume, and this is relatively fresh too because it has a best by date of November 14th of 2025, and I will say that I'm pretty excited about that because the only reason being is that a lot of times you can't find imported beers from Europe and the UK and whatnot all that fresh. This seems to be quite fresh. Even if they gave it a year, it's still like 4 months old, which again is super fresh when you're talking about imported beers from overseas. So I haven't had this in many years. I love Sam Smith's, from their Teddy Porter to their oatmeal stout, their organic chocolate stout, the Yorkshire Stingo, which I reviewed recently. And I haven't reviewed this one, so I was like, you know what? It's go time, and we're gonna check it out. I don't love brown ales, but English brown ales are more my jam, and I remember enjoying this one for what it is. Next, we have another American classic, in my opinion. It comes from the Victory Brewing Company, and it is their Golden Monkey. So this is a Belgian-style Tripel, comes in at 9.5% alcohol by volume, and it has a best by date of October 25th of 2025. Probably give it a year, I would assume. And I've reviewed some different variants. Their Monkey series is now completely just different than what this beer originally entailed. I've had a couple different variants of this one. Their White Monkey, which I think was a white wine barrel-aged version of this, I really enjoyed. But this is just your typical Belgian-style Tripel or triple, and I haven't had this one in many years. And the style is not my favorite, but I remember enjoying this one for what it is, and I want to see how I think about this beer nowadays, so that will be one of the reviews. And last but not least, we have a beer that I've reviewed before. I've reviewed a couple different variants on the channel over the years, but I wanted to grab the latest release because I haven't reviewed the base of this beer in almost 6 years. What beer is that? It is from the Sierra Nevada Brewing Company, and it is their Bigfoot, the 2025 release. So this is they say barley wine style ale. It's technically an American style barley wine. Comes in at 9.6% alcohol by volume, and this one was packaged on January 2nd of 2025. So by the time I get to this one, probably be like 2.5, almost 3 months old, but that's fine. I've said this before about this beer. I am a huge English style barley wine lover, okay? What that means is that I don't love American barley wines. They're a little bit too hop forward. If I'm going to drink a barley wine, I want it to be rich and decadent and sweet, and a lot of American barley wines aren't. They're basically very hop forward barley wines. I like this one with like 5+ years on it. However, I've been transitioning more into West Coast beers as a whole. If you've been watching the channel lately, you may have seen me say a couple times that I think I like West Coast IPAs a little bit more than hazies and New Englands nowadays. So I'm curious to see how my palate lands on an American barley wine compared to the English style. And I reviewed the 2019, again, almost 6 years ago. So I thought, why not check in on this one, see how it is. A lot of you guys can get this one, and I can't wait to give it a go. So like I always ask you guys at the end of all of these vlogs for the Shelfie beer reviews, what beers are you looking forward to in terms of reviews? For me, all of them, clearly why I picked them up. But Curtis sold me on the Wicked Willies for sure. These two, or I guess these two classic overseas beers, I haven't had them in probably close to a decade. I want to see how they are. Nice inspiration by Dave. And then Bigfoot, obviously, I want to see where that lands. Same thing with Golden Monkey, a new release from Great Lakes. And then you have the Grateful Dead beer and also the barrel-aged beer from Boulevard. This is one of the, I think, rare months where I think the vast majority of these I'm super, super excited for. And I'd say maybe one or two I'm just mildly excited for. But for the most part, this is a pretty good month in my opinion. So I appreciate each and every one of you supporting the channel over the the last 6.5, almost 7 years. These Shelfie beer reviews, I'm gonna try to continue a mainstay going forward. If I can continue to find beers as we progress into 2025. But yeah, anyway, post a comment section. Let me know what you guys are excited about, and I'm gonna shut this one down. So be on the lookout for these beer reviews throughout the month of March, and till the next one. Cheers.